All right, guys. You know me and my old behind. All right. All right. And we're live. Live. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds and then I guess I'll just get into it because you know me. I like to get straight to the point of things. And I know when it streams, you got people watching. So, of course, they like to see it, like, get right to it. So I know different people will probably be pouring in at different times. All right. And we're going to get into it because there are some things that I want to talk about with pertaining to some of the videos that I've uploaded. And of course, just a bunch of other stuff. But we're going to get into it. So, hi, Cicely. Hi, sweetheart. So, before we get started, I just want to start by saying I hope you all had a great weekend. Great start to your week, as always. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope the entire Survivor community is doing great. I am doing pretty well myself. I decided to do my hair a little bit differently. I don't know. I was getting kind of like an 80s vibe going on, 80s, 90s vibe. And I was like playing around with my hairstyle. So I was like, oh, let me try this. And boom, boom, boom. And there you go. Got a little hairstyle going on. Now I'm contemplating on shaving one side. Still thinking about it. So I haven't really decided to do it yet. So I know over time people are going to start coming in, and of course, new people will probably start joining in as well. So we're just going to get started, get right into it. Welcome to Intuitive Vibes, Narc Survival 101. Did I just stutter? It's your girl Erica here. If you're new to the channel, stick around. You may hear something pertaining to your situation, something that you may need help with. Of course, I always encourage people to give their input. If you have questions, please be sure to ask questions. You have a great community here, a lot of great people here that are not only seeking answers, but also willing to help other people out. Hi, Janelle. Hi, sweetheart. And of course, if you like today's session, check out some of our other live sessions, check out some of my other content. And if you happen to find it helpful or useful, hit the subscribe button so you're notified each time I put up a video. And of course, you'll be notified every time a live is going to be coming on. And of course, to my existing vibers, my existing subscribers, welcome back, guys. Let me just see. Hi, Wombat. How are you? Hi, Slim. Hi, welcome. It is so nice to see that more people are coming in, new people are coming, and it's kind of bittersweet because unfortunately there are new victims of narcissistic abuse. There are new victims that come in, you know, who are in a stage that we were once in, and that's the bitter part. But the sweet part is that you're not alone. You have people here. You have me who are willing to help you whatever way we can help you and give you whatever answers that you need to help you get through your process, go on your journey, and hopefully heal from all of this. I know it's a rough road, and it's a very rough time for you, especially depending on where you are in your healing. But please, if you're new, please stick around, say hello, let yourself be known. You have a lot of great people here that are very, very welcoming. Okay. I like to consider them the welcome committee because they are really, really cool people. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. But of course, if you're just here to peek in and just see what we're talking about, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay. You don't have to say anything. You might just get a thing or two, out of today's session. Janelle, thank you. Thank you. So guys, last week's live was pretty popping. It really was. We got a lot said, and we came across a lot of valid points, and we came we came into hopefully some more breakthroughs. Some more people got some more breakthroughs. And hi, Onitha. Hi, sweetheart. We're getting there, guys. You guys are getting there. You guys are really moving along and you're really applying things. And I'm super proud of you for that, because I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's really hard. And I still do get emails, which I still encourage that, send me your emails if you have any. And, you know, I want to give a shout out to, she probably might not be here because of her time zone, but I do want to give a shout out to Sandra. You know who you are. I had a session with her. Lovely, lovely, lovely woman. Really, really nice. And she's gone through the motions. So, I definitely hope that you're doing well. I hope when you catch it on the stream, reach out to me. And we had some, we had a very good conversation pertaining to her situation. And let's just say that it ended on a very, very positive note. It ended on a very, very lighthearted note. She was laughing, and that was, she was like, Erica, I needed it, and I'm so glad that she got it, because, we all deserve happiness. We all deserve to, laugh and have a good time in our lives, and not make all of this, make this a part of who we are. It may have taught us something. It taught you something. It got you through, whatever emotions. It helped you set up boundaries. So, we're gonna keep working at it, guys. We're gonna keep going through it. Okay. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's going to take some time, but you're going to get through it. Janelle, my husband found out Friday he has malignant melanoma. I hope I said that right. And I reached out to his son, the Narc, to let him know. And he turned it all around and made it all about him. Unfortunately, even if it's someone outside of the narcissist, if you're sick, or if someone else is sick, and you're expressing certain things to a narcissist, that conversation will eventually turn in the narcissist direction. They'll make it about themselves. Unfortunately, when it comes to communicating with these people, I mean, all they really see are themselves. So even if you're sitting there, just telling them information or expressing things, or it's a competitive thing, it's something that if you tell them, let's just say, for example, if you tell them this person, this person has, I'm trying to think of something. All right, let's just say, for example, and let's knock on wood on it, but if you tell them this person has COVID, okay, but they, they're getting through it, they're surviving through it, they're doing their thing. And if the narcissist happen to have had a debilitating disease, or cancer or something, they'll easily turn that conversation that you were having about this individual onto themselves. Well, I had cancer, and that's nothing compared to what I have, because, cancer is, in some cases incurable, and it could have killed me. They just managed to find a way to really turn the conversation and turn the subject from one other individual to themselves. And it's all about that focus. It's about that attention and comparison. Like, they'll compare themselves to other people, so Jenna, I'm not surprised in that, with you telling them that, it's went into that direction. It went to the Narc's direction, because they really don't care. They do not care. They don't care about other individuals outside of themselves. And of course, if whatever information you're feeding them is not beneficial in their perspective, it's not beneficial towards them, it really wouldn't mean anything. It really wouldn't matter to them. That's where that whole lack of empathy comes from. It really is. Hi, Madison. I'm doing good, sweetheart. I'm doing really, really good. I hope you're doing well. Let me just double check and make sure I say hello to everybody. Okay, cool. Got my girl Amanda here. So yeah, Janelle, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. Unfortunately, it's sad to say it that way. With these types of people, you just tend to not be surprised by their behaviors anymore, especially when you guys have learned so much. You have learned all you could learn about narcissism, about narcissists, about their behaviors, about the patterns, the tactics, everything. It gets to the point that the next stage, or what they perceive as the next stage, it's just like, tell me something else I don't know, or show me something else I don't know, because it just is to that point that you've learned so much that it's the next thing that they do, or the next tactic that they try to use, you are already like, I mean, unless they know that you are looking into narcissism, and you're looking into these types of videos, you will be a step ahead of them. So whatever tactics they're going to use, you already know what they're going to do. So you're basically like, yeah, okay, I already know what you're about to do, and I'm not falling for it. And of course, clearly, because you're not falling for it, you may get different reactions depending on who you're dealing with and what type of narcissism it is that they have. But you will 9 out of 10 times get the kind of reaction of frustration, anger, spite. They'll be very spiteful. They can be very petty. They can be very, just as like, it's just so daunting, and it's like so tiresome. You just get so damn tired. You're just like, oh, God, you know what? Just go away. That's the point you're going to get to. You're going to be like, just go away. Just, can you please just not be here right now? And that's, truthfully, that's the point where you want to get, though. You want to get to that point. Even though it's annoying, you want to get to the point of, you know what, I'm no longer affected by you, but your presence is really annoying me right now. So can you please just, I know you have to exist, but can you go exist somewhere else? Like maybe on the other side of the country, if that works for you. I'm just saying. Hi, Bush. Butch, I have the cactus up here. Okay. I put it up here. I don't know if you can fully see it, but it's up there for you. Thank you, Cicely. Yeah, I actually wanted to talk a few things about it. In regards to oh, okay. I saw a bug. If you guys see me screaming and jumping out of my seat, it's because of a bug, and I'm terrified of bugs. I did want to talk about, go a little more into detail. I know that I do the videos like 2-3 minutes, 4 minutes, because, I'm recording them in between like work, or if I'm like doing things and I feel compelled to do the videos. But I wanted to talk about that. Of course, the silence, we got to get a little more into that too. And I also wanted to talk about the 5 stages of grief. The reason I want to talk about that is because a lot of us, a lot of you, I had experienced it myself, have experienced the 5 stages of grief, are still currently experiencing the 5 stages of grief. It just depends on where you're at in between those stages. And I kind of want to like just give you a little bit of how I if I hadn't before, it does bear repeating, how I managed to get through mine, just to kind of like help you in a way to give you maybe some ideas on what you can do to help kind of speed the process up a little bit. Okay, so I definitely want to give you that. Wombat, Erica, when did you see the lack of empathy in your ex-snark partner? What were the early signs for you? That's a good question. Well, it definitely was not in the very beginning, as with any relationship you start with someone. It wasn't in the very beginning. The signs really didn't come up until like maybe a few months later, but I bear this in mind, guys. The signs have come to you during certain stages, but of course you weren't paying attention then as opposed to now. So I know you can pinpoint the signs that that you can go back and see, okay, that's kind of where I fudged up. The first sign was the lack of consideration. We were dating. We were just dating. We didn't make it official. We didn't like become officially a couple together, but we were dating. And in the interim of it, There was a trip that he had planned, um, trip to PR that he had planned. This was a trip that he planned every year. Okay, and this was every year prior to him meeting me. He did mention this to me. He mentioned that that's what he does every year for his birthday, which I was, I absorbed that information. But this particular time, he had planned it, and prior to making the arrangements to do so, he had told me that, well, I don't know if I'm gonna go. It's not etched in stone or whatever. So I took that and I said, okay, well, I guess you'll let me know. When it boiled down to it, I was speaking with him, and he was like, oh, so I bought my tickets to go to. So I was like, oh, okay. Like he, didn't really tell me, oh, well, listen, I'm looking, because remember, when you're dating someone, I mean, I'm not saying that, I would try to tie him down or, make him feel like he owes me anything, because he didn't. But I don't think it's too much to ask for someone to be considerate of you and your feelings. And considering the fact that we had been dating for a while, we were dating for a few months, actually. Um, to me, it was kind of like, it was annoying at first, because I was like, damn, like you couldn't tell me right then and there when you did it. And um, even though he explained, well, it was, a spur of the moment thing. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm your keeper, and I'm not saying that like I said, you owe me, because you don't. But I, hold on one second. Amanda, is there any way to block this person? I'm sorry, guys. Someone's using some really derogatory language, and I'm trying so hard to stay in my Zen mode. To block him completely, please. Um, as I was saying, I'm sorry about that, guys. So yeah, I wasn't trying to have him, like, answer to me or control him or anything, but I just found it to be inconsiderate in that he did not even after buying the ticket, he could have just been like, hey, listen, I know I said I wasn't sure if I was going to go and blah blah blah, but I got these tickets on sale, so I am going to go. I found that at a later time, and it was annoying to me. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you would feel about it, but I know I was like, I know I'm not your girlfriend yet, but it seemed kind of inconsiderate. Like, you didn't talk to me about it to let me know that you had done this. And needless to say, when I spoke with him about it, it was kind of like, he's like, well, are you mad at me because I'm going? Or are you mad at me because I did X, Y, and Z, and I bought the tickets? I said, I'm not mad at you because you're going, nor am I mad at you because you bought the tickets. I'm not even mad. I just feel a little peeved that you didn't consider me. You didn't consider how I would feel. I mean, listen, you were a single person until you started dating me. If you guys understand where I'm going with it. So when I spoke with him about it, I spoke to him about being considerate in general, because I understand when someone is single and they've been single for a very long time. Yes, it can take some time for someone to get adjusted or readjusted to being involved with someone. But when you have lack of consideration because you are so, we're going to use the word autonomous, when you're so autonomous in that you haven't been with someone in so long, if someone brings to your attention, listen, I know that you're used to being single, but you're dating now. We are dating. And I do think that you should take my feelings into consideration. When someone snaps back at you because you just said something that you were feeling and something that was, you want to be taken seriously. You wanted to have your feelings considered. And his response to me was, he gave me a very annoyed look. Gave me a really annoyed look. And he just looked at me, like he was just staring at me for like maybe a couple of seconds. And then he says, you know what, why don't we just get married tomorrow? Why don't we just go and get married tomorrow? And that was like, where the hell did that come from? Like, that was coming from me. Where did that come from? And that was a clear-cut red sign for me. But again, it wasn't at that time. When now looking back at it, it's that lack of consideration. Okay, it's that extreme lack of consideration. It's the Jekyll and Hyde. He had a lot of that. He had 1 minute he was cool, he was okay, and then the next minute, just like he was talking to me like if I was like an enemy, like I was, you know, someone who was out to get him, and I was just someone he couldn't trust at all. It was kind of back and forth. It was kind of back and forth, and you know, me, I'm just kind of like I went along with what he told me based on his past experiences. Now, this is based on what he told me. And I went along with, okay, this guy has never been in a really good relationship. You know, the females that he dealt with. And clearly I'm only hearing his side because I'm not, you know, they're not there to defend themselves. You know, he's afraid of getting hurt. I made all kinds of excuses for him, guys. I made all kinds of excuses. And I was sitting there saying to myself, what can I do to show him, to prove to him that I can be, you know, I'm not like that. I'm not like these women that he described to me. I'm not like these people that he said he had in his past. And I did a lot of walking on eggshells. I really did. But there was one point at one time that he got really nasty with me on the phone. I mean, really nasty. And it was actually twice in one night. The first night was when he was telling me that he was on his way to go and give his daughter some money. It was later in the evening. And I'm like, okay, all right, no problem. He was like, is that all right with you? Do you have a problem? Like condescendingly and very, very just nasty tone. I didn't like his attitude at all. Is that a problem with you? Do you have a problem with me doing this for my daughter? Do you have, and I'm a parent, guys, you guys know that. So clearly I'm like, no, what is wrong with you? Later on that night, we spoke on the phone and his attitude was just so nasty and so rude. And I just was like, I ended the conversation, like we ended the conversation. And the next day I'm like, you know what? You're not going to talk to me like that. You're not. And I ended up not talking to him at all the next day, which triggered him to come out and, you know, pop up on me or spy on me or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, he had such, I wish I could say benign, but they weren't. It was very malignant. He had such trust issues that he would just constantly like hoover over me, you know, not hoover, hover. He would hover over me. And I could just tell like something is just, but again, I was making excuses for him. I kept making excuses for him, and I kept making excuses for his behaviors, his attitude, his rudeness, his, you know, his need to just be in control, be his own man, and him not compromise. And it just, over the years that we were together, guys, it was not perfect. It really was not perfect. We had our problems. We were arguing a lot. We were fighting a lot. A lot of other things stemmed from it. I'll just give you the bottom line. The bottom line of all of that was, at least I thought all of that was, he thought I was still dealing with someone else from my past. And because he thought that, I made the excuses. This is why you're acting like this, because you believe that I was doing X, Y, and Z. No, he was acting like this because this type of behavior was normalized in his life, whether it stemmed from his parents, whether it, you know, came from his relationships. You have people that are raised in very dysfunctional homes that have been conditioned to believe that toxicity, arguing, constantly questioning, constantly pointing the finger, constantly blaming people, constantly just looking at everyone else's faults and flaws and not taking accountability for their own. They're conditioned to believe that this is normal. So when they come across people such as yourselves, when they come across people, all of that stuff that was projected, all of that stuff that was pretty much going on in their environment, they project that onto you. So they're basically saying, well, I've never been in a healthy relationship before, so the only thing I know is how to argue, how to fight, how to make you feel bad, because people have always made me feel bad. That's all I know. So, but see, this is a double-edged sword, guys, because in the end, you have a lot of people who are older. These people are older. I don't know how old the people are that you deal with, but they're much older and they know right from wrong. You know the difference. You know, if and this goes for people who clearly think that dysfunction is okay. You should not be looking for a relationship. The reality is you should be looking for a therapist. A lot of them like to replace what they need, which is the help that they need, with relationships. They like to fill that void, and by filling that void, it's projecting, it's scapegoating, because that's what you guys were in your relationships with your narcissist, whether they be your family or your romantic relationships. They were scapegoating you. And it's very similar to the dynamic between a child and their parent, their narcissist parent. One minute they're scapegoating you, the next minute they're treating you like a golden child, right? So it's kind of like that. It's with that Jekyll and Hyde personality. It's back and forth. But yeah, Wombat, I actually started noticing certain things in the beginning that I just did not like. And I thought, maybe if I give him a little bit more time, maybe if I let him know me a little more, let him be around me a little more, let him see that it's not like every other relationship that he's been in, or, even though he's explained to me he's only been in 2 other serious relationships, and that's including his kid's mother. But, I went along with everything that he told me. I went along with everything that he expressed to me. Everything he explained happened in that relationship. And this is why I strongly believe he's an inverted, vulnerable narcissist, because he surrounds himself with other narcissists. He surrounds himself with people who are, I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. He surrounds himself with people who clown him in front of other people, and he accepts that behavior. And because he doesn't confront these people on these matters, he's codependent. Okay, I strongly believe his mother is narcissistic. That is my strong belief. And in being in that dynamic and seeing things go on in that family, listening to certain things when they thought I wasn't listening, looking at people, watching, observing. You do these things. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when you were in these relationships, you were doing these things and you didn't realize why you were doing them, but you knew some part of your brain was telling you, collect this information because I have a feeling I'm going to need this later for whatever it is. Even though they had you thinking that you're the paranoid one, you subconsciously collected information because for some reason in the future, you were going to need that. You were going to need it to apply it for whatever reason it was. It did not make sense to you then, but it makes sense to you now. And that's exactly what I did. I was just collecting information. I'm listening to people. When people are having conversations or people are talking, or when they're mumbling, thinking that nobody can hear them, I was listening. When he would come to me and tell me certain things that it seemed like, I would basically tell him, yo, you got people taking advantage of you. You got people doing this and that. I mean, what are you doing? And he would go against me. He would defend these people against me. He would basically like, no. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And amazingly enough, you guys dealt with people that you were watching their back and trying to warn them, trying to tell them about certain people, trying to do certain things, trying to, trying to be that loyal person to them. And the reality of it was they ended up stabbing you in the back. They ended up stabbing you in the back. And the kind of person I dealt with in dealing with an inverted narcissist, they live in denial on that. They live in real denial. Like, no, this person, is my friend. Bro, she's not your friend. She's been clowning you for how many years? You understand? She's been stealing. This one's been stealing from you. This one's been lying to you. That one's been cheating on you. And these people are all laughing behind your back. But of course, I look like the enemy. I was the one who was, because I'm the outsider, guys. I'm not the toxic one. I'm the outsider. I would probably really, really mess up that little pyramid going on. If I really got deep into it, I would have probably messed that up. But because they need people of that element, you're dealing with someone who has a narcissistic family. They need people of the same element of narcissism, of dysfunction, of manipulation to keep it going. They needed to keep it going. I simply looked at it like, something? You are this person's meal ticket. You are this person's ego booster. You are a scapegoat. You are basically being held in this game because you are the main pawn and they can't risk losing that. So I never understood it, guys. Hi, Stella. Yes, Kara. They are really codependent. They will tear and emasculate them and they will still sit. Exactly. I didn't understand that. I did not understand. I didn't understand how, when he explained to me, first and foremost, guys, and I'm not speaking from like as a hater or anything like that, because I don't hate nobody. I don't need to hate on anyone. But I have not only looked at, not only heard what he, exclaimed to me about his relationship with his child's mother, but I've seen her firsthand. I've seen her myself. So it wasn't just taking his word. I've seen her myself, how she would do things to gain attention. Okay. She'd do provocative things. She would do, listen, this chick, honestly, I don't knock parents for being friends with their kids, but you're a mother or a father first. And the things that I'd seen her project through her own daughter. I had seen her project herself, her qualities of herself onto her own daughter. Okay. Where she basically is, portraying to the world like that. You wouldn't even think they were mother and daughter. You would think they were more like BFFs, two grown women. And at that time, her daughter was only a teenager. So I seen these things happening. And I'm saying to myself, what is it? What is it? There was just something. And then I looked further and I looked further. And I had seen her single-handedly sit there and, I guess, listen, whatever, if she decided to go on another merry-go-round, because the two of them have gone on many cycles, okay? Many cycles, 2 decades, that's almost 20 years, many cycles together, because it's that back and forth. She likes to recycle. She likes to recycle her supply because she's gone back, and trust me, I have seen it with my own 2 eyes. She recycles the supply, and him being the codependent, inverted narc that he is, he continuously goes back because of that trauma bond. It's because of that trauma bond that the two of them have. He has been emasculated since probably childhood, okay? Because we're going to go deep into it. It stems from his own environment. But he managed to be with someone who represents a narcissist in his life, whether it be his mom or his dad. I don't know. But he managed to deal with a woman who represents the narcissist in his life. So he managed to be with a narcissist. She is a female narcissist, okay? She's a covert female narcissist. And she basically utilized the fact that men want her. She's a very attractive woman, and she uses that appeal to gain the attention of everyone. And because she does this, he basically feels like he's the lucky one. Well, I got a chick that all these men want. So, because he has that thought in his mind, what the hell is that? Because he has that thought in his mind, well, I have the kind of female that a lot of men will go goo goo gaga over, which, again, 700 billion people on this planet, seriously. It basically fills his ego as well, because he has a female that is attractive, that men clearly, clearly desire. And what's not to desire when you're sitting there putting yourself out there to be, exposed in that sense? You are seeking attention. I think he doesn't want to believe that. No, let me rephrase that. I think he wanted to believe that she was capable of change. She was capable of changing her ways. The reality of it is that she was not. She was not. Why did he get involved with me? I don't know. I don't know if it was for, to get over it. I don't know if it was to move on from it. I don't know if it was to try to get over it. But this is the reality, and this is my reality. My reality is someone who has, one, constantly emasculated you, two, made you feel less of a man, three, has done some really conniving crap, okay? Four, sat there and did all kinds of subliminals. Five, sat there and tried to embarrass you after you rejected her. Six, sat there and probably talked shit about you to your daughter. Like, this is what a female narcissist does. She makes herself to be the I could do no wrong. I could do no wrong. I'm the woman that everyone wants. And who are you to tell me you don't want me? Who are you to tell me that you will no longer put up with my bullshit? Who are you to tell me that I can't get my way with you and have you wrapped around my finger? The minute I stepped out of the picture, guys, she was already on it. Which I was actually, it's crazy because I was actually expecting that to happen. And that's exactly what happened. She was already on it. She was slowly going in, though. Slowly going in. But at the end of the day, I knew what her agenda was. I knew what her agenda was. I knew what she was doing. And what he ended up doing was he ended up putting the nail in the coffin with me when he decided to re-entertain that or, whatever. But I didn't do anything about it because my clear-cut vision of it was, y'all got some demons, and apparently your demons like to play around. Your demons like to dance. I want no part of that. I want no part of it. The only thing I felt sorry for, the only person I felt sorry for was the kid, because this kid has to deal with these two parents that are so dysfunctional and so toxic, not only toxic to one another, but to other people, that she's not really going to be able to have a very healthy relationship unless she decides to take it upon herself to not be like her parents. And she decides to go her own route. But in dealing with all of that, that's how I learned, and that's how I configured. He is a codependent narcissist. He is extremely narcissistic. He is. It's just that level of, that level of wake the hell up, wake the hell up, realize the kind of people you have in your surroundings, realize what you are doing, because you are projecting onto other people the same thing that these people have been projecting onto you, and realize that you need to wake the hell up, get help, and get the hell out of that. Okay. He keeps going back to get, honestly, he's going back to get medicine at a toxic waste, if that makes sense. He's trying to get healed at a toxic waste plant, and it's not going to happen. He's going to continue dealing with it. That's why when inverted narcissists, when they break up, or if another narcissist discards them, which I'm sure she has done it the first time, probably got to him, but I'm sure she's done it plenty of times. when she was done with him and him stroking her ego and making her feel like, because then she'd move on to the next bit of supply. He didn't really, they don't take discard as bad as a non-narcissist. They don't look at discard that way. They just look at it like, all right, whatever, it is what it is. I go my way. I personally was like, nah, you cannot sit here and tell me you guys are friends. That's when I was looking at that dynamic, and I'm like, you cannot sit here and tell me all of this that you told me, because a lot of what he explained to me was beyond despicable. Does not bear repeating, because honestly, I'll get pissed off if I do repeat it. But everything you've explained to me about this person, you're still sitting here and calling them your friend. Something's not right there, and that's how I configured it. Yes, tracker. He was looking for a reaction and getting supply from seeing you care about what he knows you will disagree with. Absolutely. And he had this thing as do as I say, not as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. And if I had done something remotely close to what he had done, I would have I'd have been the worst person in the world. You see, look, I knew I couldn't trust her. I knew I couldn't trust her. Look at what she's doing. Look at what she's doing. I did the total opposite, man. I'm not like that. I'm not about, gaining attention like that. And I'm not the kind of person that will, to spite you. That's not me. I don't do eye for an eye. All I do is, okay, this is how you do. Cool. I'm out the door. I let God take care of you. He'll take care of you. I ain't got time for this. But that would have been the next thing. Because if I had decided to go ahead and do some grimy stuff or do something like he would have done, or, off of the fact that he had done that and try to exact revenge, that right there, because he made it so, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, okay. Everybody's looking at him like he wasn't doing anything, but I saw what he was doing. And if I had reacted in my own way by trying to get revenge, he would have clearly been like, look, see, I knew it. I knew it. This is what all this time she's telling me I could trust her. And look, boom, look at what she's doing. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. And I said, you know something? I'm not going to do what she would typically do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to make nobody jealous. I don't need to do that. This is what you do. By all means, go ahead and do it. I went my own way, and I just focused on me. That's all I did. I focused on me. We're not playing that game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kara, they're just, and each of them are, each of them have their own tendencies. So, some of you could be dealing with the malignant, some of you could be dealing with a somatic, some of you could be dealing with a cerebral, covert, overt, vulnerable, invulnerable, introverted, extroverted. I mean, there's so many different categories for them. But in the end, it's like, it's all the same thing for them. It's all the same, whatever narc they are, it's all the same thing. And how I look at it is, it's this is why I tell people, especially people who are going through the discard, it's so not worth it. It's not worth it. People need to really listen to people who have gone through the motions. People need to listen to people who have done the work, who have gone through the steps. It's important that you listen to these people, because they're basically giving you an outlet. They're giving you an outlet on how to maneuver around it. When a lot of us didn't have that outlet, we didn't have that. Okay, we didn't know anything about it. We knew absolutely nothing about it. I knew nothing about it when I was going through it. I didn't find out until a couple of months afterwards, but I was already trying to go into my healing. So this let me know that I'm just the kind of person that I won't entertain. I won't entertain. I didn't know about narcissism. So the discard happened August. It was like in the summertime. It happened in August. I didn't start learning about narcissism until like January, or maybe even a little later, that January or February. I didn't start. So in between those months, that was all me. That was just all me trying to figure out how to just get my healing and how to move on. And it was because of the fact that I learned about narcissism, and I learned about the effects and the antics and the tactics and the things that they do, that just helped me move a lot quicker. And it helped me move just way more than I had anticipated. So I was already on my way there. It was just it was a stop on my road. And not many people know, not many people do that. So you got some people that are like going back and forth, going back and forth, going back and forth in between, the discard, and then boom, when they finally learn about it. But even then, you have some people who learn about it and still end up falling for whatever Hoover tactics or whatever it is they're going through, because they're still kind of, their heartstrings. Their heartstrings are still in. And I understand that feeling, trust me. And I think that's the part of, because I told you guys that the 5 stages of grief is what you go through. You go through the 5 stages of grief. A lot of people go through grief when they lose, someone to death, but you go through the 5 stages of grief. Not only with that, you go through it with relationships too. So if you go through a breakup, if you go through a narcissistic breakup, you're experiencing the 5 stages of grief. The 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. And some people are, after the discard, clearly when you're discarded, you're going through denial because you just can't believe what's going on. Like, no, I can't believe this. This is not happening. And the reason you are in denial too is because it's not just you. You're in denial because they're still breadcrumbing you. Even after the discard, guys, they're still breadcrumbing you. They're still, kind of giving you a little something for you to hold on to. And with going through that, you're confused. So you're like, no, this person does love me. No, this person does want to be with me. They wouldn't be talking to me if they didn't. They wouldn't be calling me. They wouldn't be coming to see me if they didn't. No, it's because they still need you to keep your mind on them. They still need to give, they want to put that space, but they don't want to put too much space because they know that if you get too much space, or if you're basically going in your own direction, that supply is gone too. You're taking that supply with you. And that's why they continuously contact you, or like sporadically they'll contact you. They'll reach out to you. They'll, text you every so often. Like if nothing happened, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? That's why they tell you, let's be friends. A lot of narcissists, they want to be friends with their exes because they want to be able to recycle you. So after everything they did to you, all of the damage they've caused, they still want to be friends with you. They'll let it simmer. Listen, maybe we can be friends. Maybe, I don't want to lose you. I still want you to be a part of, that saying, I still want you to be a part of my life. Why do I have to lose you? Does that sound right to you guys? After everything, if you've endured narcissistic rage, if you've endured gaslighting, if you've endured triangulation, you've endured all these things, okay? And they deflected and they thwarted all the blame onto you. But then they said, oh, well, let's be friends. If I'm so much the toxic one, why would you want to be friends with me? Does that make sense? Please let me know, because it don't make sense to me. I got this whole little Superman curl thing going on over here. Yeah. Yeah. Soaring empath. Absolutely. And it's, you're going through like the kind of grief you're going through in your relationship. It's more like it's on a subconscious level because you're not really, I honestly, I mean, with this, the whole trauma bond, I don't really think most people are coherent. Like, I don't really think most people are coherent. When you are in a relationship with them and you're in that trauma bond, you're really thinking more with your heart rather than your brain. Okay. It's like I said before in last week's live, our brains go in sleep mode. You go in sleep mode and logic is out the window. It's completely out the window. You have no logic. Everything is emotions. Everything is emotions. Everything is feelings. And they know this. They know this. Like I told you guys, why when does a narcissist know they're gonna make you a victim? When you let them get away with something That first time, and I told you guys before, you let them get away with it the first time, they're going to be ice skating around you. Okay, you let them slide, they're going to build a whole ice skating rink around you, because that the minute they manage to get away with something the first time, oh well, shoot, it's going to be like a walk in the park. Because remember, they're big manipulators, and we're talking more the covert narcs, extreme manipulators. Like, they know how to, they this is the kind of people they are. They will curse you out. They will make you feel this big. There we go. They'll make you feel this big. They will make you feel like you're nothing. They will make you like, they will bring your self-esteem down so low, and you'll feel so down and out and so in the dirt. And the minute you guys come into, into a public area, or you're coming around friends, or you're going to an event, or you're doing whatever, or you're going to be recorded on camera, or you're going to take a picture, whatever the case may be, totally different person. Totally different person. You'll sit there like, what the hell happened to the person that was just cursing me out and making me feel like I was shit? What happened to that person? That person is on sleep mode. Okay, they either put that person in the back seat of the car when you guys got out of the car, or they got that person sitting on the couch when you left your apartment, because when you come back, they're going to turn right back to that person. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. Let me just go back, guys. I want to make sure I didn't forget anyone. Kara, the Narcs family encourages the triangulation with you and others to push you out because you are a threat and do not fit in their dynamic. They will encourage it to feed the Narc's ego for control. Absolutely. I strongly believe, and you guys know me, I'm at a point in my life where I speak the truth. I speak it like it is. And if nobody likes it, hey, you can always email me. We can square it out. But I strongly believe that he's what we call un boleto de comida. Okay. And what that means is a meal ticket. It's basically where narcissists, here's what I've learned. Guys. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. When you have parental narcissists, okay, older, we know how the parents are, right? We know that they rely on their kids to take care of them and do for them, or whatever the case may be. When you have narcissist parents, a lot of people who are children of narcissists, probably, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot, have probably had their financial situation really, really screwed up. Because what a narcissist parent does, over time, they sabotage their children's finances. Okay? Now, this kind of correlates into why the narcissist does nice things for you and stuff, and I'm gonna explain why. A narcissist wants you to be codependent on them. But there's a but. Remember, I told you that narcissists are the kind of people that they're the kind of people, like, if you're in a romantic relationship with them, they are single but you're taken. Well, the parents, when it comes down to dealing with the narcissist parent, you are their spouse, you are their ATM machine, you are a source of supply on any level, and you are to take care of them. Now, I've come to, and you know what, and I've mentioned this before a long time ago when I did a sip chat with Amanda. I mentioned this before. I strongly believe that, and I don't know why, please don't ask me why, because I don't know, but I strongly believe that his mom was hoarding money while she was taking his. Okay? Now, the reason I say that is because I'm not gonna say he was broke. He was always broke, but he was always spending. He was always spending, and he couldn't understand why. He couldn't understand why. Couldn't understand why he was always spending money. He couldn't understand why he could not get his finances in order or do things for himself, to be able to be independent and be able to be autonomous. Narcissist parents will fudge up your credit. They will fudge up your finances. They will sabotage your finances just so you are stuck to be codependent on them. Okay? Just so you are stuck to basically either be forced to live with them so you can take care of them, and they'll make it seem as if they're doing you the favor. It's crazy. It's like simultaneous manipulation. They screw up your finances, they screw up your credit. So guys, just if you got a narcissist parent, you might want to run your own credit check if you haven't, okay? Because who knows, they might have put a bill in your name before you even a day old. I'm just saying. But they will do these things to keep you stuck, to keep you tending to them. If you have a narcissist mother, and you're a male, whether you be an empath, a codependent, or hell, if you got people who are narcissists who come up in here, and whether you're a narcissist, you're not their child. You are their property. You're their property. And even though you think that it's you doing everything, you think that you're the one in control, you're not. You're not the one in control. The narcissist parent is the one in control. They're in control of your finances, whether you realize it or not. They're in control of your life. They're in control of your life. I'm sorry, guys. Give me one more second because I just want to check. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anyone, okay? Let's see. Kara, I declined the friend offer. No thanks. Yeah, so did I. They get even more of an injury when you decline the offer and go no contact. That's actually the same night that I said no was the same night that I got confronted with a narcissistic rage. Some nerve. What kind of a friend could you be to me? Exactly. Exactly. What kind of a friend are they? Like, you couldn't even treat me right or be, you treated me poorly during our relationship. What kind of a friend are you going to be to me? A friend is someone that I can rely on. A friend is someone that I can confide in and won't have that thrown in my face. A friend is someone that will not, will do something if I need something and not, you know, huff and puff because you're attaching obligation to it. That's what a friend is. A friend is someone who's there for you, honest with you, loyal to you, and cares about you. Not someone who's just going to sit there and and just make you feel like you're being a piece of shit when all you've been trying to do was prove to them. Listen, guys, I've said it plenty of times, and I'll keep saying it. You were providing for them what their parents were not providing for them. Ryan, I've been stalked since 2006. Oh, wow. Since 2006. I wish I could say that they wouldn't do it anymore. Unfortunately, when their mind is set on something, I mean, as long as they're not like, I don't know what kind of stalking is going on. Like, is it cyber stalking? Is it driving past your house type stalking? I don't really know, but it's I don't really think it's something that you can stop unless you either move away. And if you do move away, like, you have to completely clear everything, social media, you name it. maybe start new, start fresh somewhere else, and like just redo everything. Um, dinosaur. Imagine being born, bro. There is some kind of bug in here. I don't know what it is, guys. I swear I will jump out of my. I seen that thing flying around. Oh wait, what is it? I don't know if it's a moth. You guys ain't never see me scream, or you're about to. Just telling you that right now. Okay, I'm sorry. Dinosaur. Imagine being born with four. Unbelievable what I've experienced. Even I'm blown away. Yes, parental. I've had my friendships sabotaged. Yeah, because it's all about them. It's all about them. It's all about what your existence. If you have a narcissistic parent, your existence is here solely for them. And dude, I don't do bugs. I don't do bugs. Okay, yes, I'm a city girl. I don't do bugs. I don't do bugs. I'm from the projects. We did the little roaches, but that's as far as we went. Anything else flying around, water bugs, bees, grasshoppers, whatever, I don't care. I don't do bugs. I do not do it. I will shut this shit down, and you will see me with a blowtorch. I'm not playing. But anything that you do, it's mainly and primarily to serve them. It's to serve your parents. It's to serve whatever needs, whatever need of supply, whatever the case may be. It's to serve them. And unfortunately, a lot of victims, but they find out when it's too late. A lot of victims with narcissistic parents um, find out in the end their whole life could have been different, but because of that covert sabotage, the covert bullying, the covert gaslighting, the psychological abuse, the emotional abuse, the emotional deficiency, everything that you could possibly think a parent should not be passing on to their children. They've passed it on. Their lives could have been different had they, I always tell people, if your gut is telling you something, don't fight it. Don't fight it. If your parent says something or your parent does something that doesn't sit right with you, I get it. It's your parent, but we gotta stop going with the new norm of this is my parent. Why would they lie to me? This is my parent. Why would they hurt me? They wouldn't hurt me. We got to stop that. Society is putting that out there like, well, you only got one parent, you only got one mother, you only got one father. Yeah, you're right. And I kind of, I got the shitty end of the stick. I'm sorry to say it that way, but then again, I'm not, because a parent who treats their child like that, a parent who goes and looks at their children like they're tools, like they are their property, like they're there to just serve the parent and their own supply and their personal needs. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. And people who try to speak up on it, who try to expose it, who try to talk about it, they get looked at like they're crazy. They get looked at like they're crazy. Your mom would never do that to you. Your dad would never do that to you. What are you talking about? And that's because they have been had ingrained in their brain that that parent is a great parent. They took care of you your whole life. These Oh wait, nope, that's not a moth. That's I kid you not. I oh, oh Lord, I'm sorry. But I'm sorry, that bug done just got me thrown off for a second. But yeah, the people have it ingrained in their mind that, you know, your parents are great people. They took care of you your whole life. They sent you to the best schools. They did all of this stuff for you. Failing to understand that being a parent is not just buying material things, not just providing materialistic things. It's about emotional connection, psychological connection, you know, and yet people are looking at it from standing from the outside. So when they're looking at it standing from the outside, I've explained this in the video of the narcissist family. It's hard to prove psychological abuse. You can't prove it. You know how it's proven? It's proof. God, I'm sorry, guys. This bug is really, bro. You couldn't wait until after I was done with the live. Sorry about that. How it's proven is in the behaviors of. I'm gonna end up knocking all this shit down. Watch. Mark my words. Mark my words. Before this live is over, I'm gonna end up swinging and I'm gonna knock everything down. I hope you guys are still here with me after that. I don't believe in killing God's creatures, but if they a mouse and they're not paying rent, they gotta go. But okay, yes, I did. Now I have to repeat myself yet again, and I don't even know where the hell I left off because this. I guess somebody sent one of their flying monkeys after me. Who knows? But it shows in it shows in their behaviors. It shows in, you know, but it's to the outside world. It's to the victims. It's to, you know, the empaths. It's to the people that are, you know, that have empathy and have a sense of direction, and maybe even some codependents who, you know, who just are still trying to find themselves, but they still want that love. You know, it shows in, you know, you ever heard the saying, you are how your parents raised you. So for example, I send my son out into the world. How he treats a woman is a reflection of how I've raised him. Okay? It's a reflection of how his father raised him. That reflects our parenting skills. That reflects how we as parents, how we have raised him, what we've taught him, what we've ingrained in his mind. That's a reflection, a clear-cut reflection. It Que carajo coño. I bro. Yeah, I felt something crawling up my leg. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't, guys. I want so much to get through this live, but the bugs. This is why I don't do summertime. But yeah, it's how they, you know. I just damn it. Damn it. See this? You see? No, no, no. I'm trying to be serious here, and these bugs are coming in the house like, okay. I think it's gone. Okay. So I don't know, man. It must be my hair. Maybe it looks like a flower. I don't know. It's my hair is not meant to be pollinated. Nothing. Anyway, I'm I'm sorry, guys. You know me. I always go straight through my chats, but this bug. Wait, wait, mother. Did I? I don't. I think I did. I don't know. I think I killed it. All right, I think I did it. I think I did. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, I just distractions. I can't. I'm gonna do my regular recording over there by the table next time. Yeah, I can't Sore, I can't get a broom because it's a fly and it just I think I killed. Oh no, mother! Wait. Yo, I swear, man. I'm t- Somebody doesn't want me to do this live. Somebody doesn't want me to do it. Oh man. Okay. Okay. And somebody is like, she's giving away too many secrets and yeah. All right. Let's just make sure. Okay, guys. So like I was saying, um, sugar honey iced tea. What was I saying? I could. Oh, okay, yeah. So it shows in their actions. It shows, their parents are basically everything that they did to you, everything they've done in your relationship is pretty much the projection from their parents. And victims unfortunately are the only ones who can really see the final outcome of the abuse because that abuse is inflicted onto the victims. All right, let me. Okay, I'm gonna go back, make sure. Let's just see, make sure I didn't forget anyone. All right, I just want to make sure. Yeah, I can't. These bugs do, guys. I'm not a summer person. I don't do bugs. I just can't. Yeah, Wombat. He says I'm sorry, Wombat. I don't know if you're he or she, so please let me know so I know how to. But you nailed what a narc parent does. The mother used my ex narc to buy her a house. Yeah, yeah. Because this is why if you're dealing with a narcissist and they have a narcissistic mother, you either are going to be a part of the program, or if you are a threat, they're going to do things to keep you out of that person's life because they need someone they need someone who's going to enable the behaviors of their narcissist child, of their codependent narcissistic child. They need someone who's going to you saw it, didn't you? You did see it. See, I told you I'm not going crazy. I'm going to end up knocking everything down. But they need people to go with the program. If you're not going with the program, if you are actually the threat, the threat that's going to take away their bread and butter, the threat that's going to take away, by their, I mean, the parents' security, the parent security blanket, if you are considered that threat, oh, they will do covert things. They will do covert things to really obligate that person, to really keep that person stuck in. And even if you're not going with the flow of it, or you're not, you're just like, this don't sound right, or this don't seem right, or even if I'll go one step ahead, even if you're putting in the other person's head, because again, guys, you could be dealing with an inverted narcissist, and an inverted narcissist, they are a narcissist, but it's just pretty much someone who is kind of like drawn to other narcissists. So even if you were, putting things like trying to appear logical and appear, even though you're trying to appear sensible, but you're being logical on situations, they don't believe in logic. These people do not believe in logic. Okay. All they believe is manipulation. That's it. That's all it is. And if it might, something, mother. I'm gonna get through this live, guys. I'm gonna get through this live. I'm not. I think it's the light that's attracting it. But even you try to use logic in your situation, or you try to use logic in your dynamic where you are explaining, okay, this is not right. This here, what you're explaining to me is not right. Okay, this is more logical. You're going to be met with aggression. You're going to be met with, and the reason being because when at some point in their lives, when they were dealing with their parents and they tried to bring logic into a situation, or they try to make sense of something that the parent was doing or something that the parent was saying, and because they were actually making sense of it and the parent was not being appreciative of that, and they were like, nah, you I guess I got to do a little more gaslighting on you. When the gaslighting is starting to get like maybe a little weaker or whatever the case may be, and that logic is, starting to make a little more sense, these people got met with narcissistic rage. They got met with aggression. They got met with, how could you accuse me of doing X, Y, and Z? Or how could you even think that I would do something like this to you when I'm your own parent? Narcissist mothers, okay, you want to know how bad they can be? I can tell you how bad they can be. They can be so bad that they can literally sacrifice their children. They will literally sacrifice their kids just to gain some kind of clout, just to gain fame, just to gain money. They will sacrifice their children just to keep a marriage together. Okay? Narcissist mothers are, like I said, in my opinion, they're the worst. They're the worst. I really don't even think they should be having kids. They should not be having kids. And a lot of them who do have children, like I said, if they don't abandon their kids, because a lot of them abandon them, like they'll have kids and just leave them. They'll leave the kids. Maybe they'll leave with another family member to raise them or what have you, or just give the child up for adoption, whatever the case may be. But it's not for the reason that people think. You hear about, oh, well, this person gave up their child for adoption. You have people who give up their children because they aren't incapable of being good parents, or they don't want to have to suffer in that they're not financially ready. They may be too young, whatever the case may be. But we're talking about these types of women who abandon their children, who leave their children behind, is because either one, they're trying to keep a relationship with someone else, or maybe another manipulator or whatever. And they, that person, I am not trying to have kids. Or two, it's going to take away from them. It's going to take away their freedom. It's going to take away their youth. It's going to take away from their uniqueness. Oh, I'm so unique. And, I can't be having kids right now. I'm not, but yet they laid down to make the child. It's so easy for them. And how convenient that they have other family members that will just go ahead and scoop up the kid and take it. And a lot of them, you have narcissists with family members who are enablers, because a lot of the time, I'm pretty sure the enablers would be the ones that would say, oh, just give the kid to me. I'll take care of it or whatever. And not really hold the narcissist accountable. If they do have the children and they do decide to keep the children are basically there to be servants to them. So when they reach a certain age, well, you know what? Little Joey, you're about 12, 13 years old? You know how to talk, you know how to walk, you know how to get dressed, you know how to do this, you know how to do that. You know how to take care of me. So when I need you for something, you better do what I say. The minute they reach a certain age, and if they have other children, if they have an older child, and they have, other children that their siblings, they will parentify. They'll put the parental obligation on the older child to take care of the younger siblings. That's why you have some of these narcissist mothers who have, like several kids, and they'll leave their kids at home with, like say if they have 4 kids, and one, that oldest child is like 14 years old, and all of the other ones are young. They think that 14-year-old is good enough to sit at home and babysit them while they go out on the town and go do whatever they want to do. They put that responsibility onto the older child. And mind you, if there is no positive, no if, guys, because I'm not even almost sure, I'm pretty damn sure. If you are dealing with a narcissist mother, I'm pretty sure there is no positive male role model in the picture. There is no positive male role model in the picture, which means that not only does that child have to be a parent at a young age and take care of those other children and take care of the mother's responsibilities, but they're also doing this without a strong male role model in their life. This person who's doing all of this, okay, and trying to gain some form of, maybe try to gain some connection with the mother, but narcissist mothers, they don't connect with their children. They're not emotional with them. They're not attaching. They're non-attaching. Okay. They're constantly aloof. This creates very, very, well, one, it creates a lot of instability. So it makes the child very anxious, and it makes the child this is what actually creates codependency. It creates codependency because not only are you giving that caregiver role to this child, now this child's going to grow up thinking that now they got to take care of everybody who comes into their life. That's why a lot of us codependents have that caregiver role. If you noticed, when you were in the relationship with them, when with your ex-narc, you felt like you needed to take care of them. You felt like, I gotta take care of you. What do you want? Are you hungry? No, you sit there. I'll go and get this, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. And you were serving them. You were serving them, and you were being, you were pretty much doing everything. This all stems from childhood. This all stems from a pretty screwed up parents. Narcissist parents. I mean, listen, the bottom line, and there was a meme that I saw. Someone put up a quote, and I really loved it. He said, we're all screwed up in the head, but it's when we're screwed up in the heart that's the problem. Okay? We're all screwed up in the head. We all have our issues. We all have our dysfunctions. We're all screwed up here. But it's when you are screwed up in your heart, that's where the problem lies. And that's exactly what it is dealing with a narcissist. They're not only screwed up in the head, but it's coupled with being screwed up within their heart. Because at the end of the day, these people, you would think that they don't have a heart. You would think that you would say to them, how the hell is it that you're pumping blood? How are you pumping blood? How are you actually able to walk around the face of this earth being the way you are? And yet it feels like you don't have a heart. You could thank their parents for it, guys, because their parents are the reason why. Cicely, all facts, Eric. I've seen that. I've seen all that with their children. Also doing things like calling her kids fat ass, but in a joking manner. She's bullying them. She's bullying them. And I can almost guarantee, Cicely, she probably didn't have a strong male role model in her life either. Okay? Any child who grows up in a home with a strong male role model, an empathetic, emotionally stable female role model, any child who grows up in a home with stability and love and compassion and empathy and connection will not, maybe have some issues, but will not have the toxic dysfunctions that narcissists have. Will not even have the toxic dysfunctions that codependents have. Okay? Codependents and narcissists are the way they are because of faulty parenting, because of faulty dynamics, because of, really, honestly, and I'm going to be 1,000 with you guys because that's how I am, screwed up parents. Okay? And it's okay to admit that. We can all sit here and admit our parents were a bit screwed up. At the end of the day, if my mom was a narc and I'm the empathetic codependent, I'm the one who was, because, and I was going over this with Amanda, a narcissist parent will create those children. Not all of her kids are going to be narcissists. She may have, if she has 4 kids, one may just be, an empathetic codependent, and the other 3 may be narcissistic codependents. A narcissist is a codependent. Okay? They are a codependent. When I say codependent and narcissist, it's clearly empathetic codependent or narcissistic codependent. Okay? But they're both codependents. The empathetic codependence, which if any of you are, codependents and you have that empathy, you identify with your afflictions, you identify with the pain that comes with the abuse. A narcissistic codependent identifies with the abuse itself, the abuser. So they identify with the tactics, the ways that the abuser abused them. That's what they identify with. I was talking to Amanda about it the other day, and I was telling her that all too often, and this is where you guys have to be very careful. Please be extremely careful and really use your intuition when you are dealing with people, because a codependent, you know how a narcissist does love bombing? And they do the love bombing stage, right? Where they're buying you stuff, they're, doing nice things for you, they're treating you kindly, they're doing all of these things for you. Of course, this is with motives, okay? It's with motives. Codependents do the same thing. Empathetic codependents do the same thing. And this is where people get confused. That's why I say not every narcissist is going to love bomb you, okay? People generalize it. A lot of them generalize it. They'll say, oh, well, a narcissist is going to love bomb you and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. No, not every narcissist is going to do that. And in fact, not every narcissist is going to do that, but sometimes codependents, regular codependent people, just the clingy ones, because that's what codependency is. It's just clinging, okay? They do the same thing. So a lot of the behaviors that narcissists do, very similar to codependence, very similar to the actions of a codependent. Okay, remember, they were raised by the same type of people, but they just do things slightly, they do things that are similar to one another, yet the intentions are completely different. A codependent does it because they just want that sense of attachment. They just want to, they want to basically please. They're people pleasers. They want to please you. They want to attach with you. They want to share with you. They want to give to you. They want these things. And in return, the only thing they want is really appreciation, acknowledgement. They want validation, which is, that's just the common thing of a codependent. A narcissist, on the other hand, does it to get back in return from you. So they do it to get their ego stroked by you. They do it to gain something from you. When I told you guys, the reason they do nice things for you, narcissist does nice things for you because they want to have that control. It's all about control. Okay. If you notice that they do nice things for you, I don't know if some of you have dealt with narcs that do it publicly, where it's like a big show and everybody gets to see it. Oh yeah, oh, he must really love you because look at all he did for you, or she must really love you because look at all she did for you. And everybody has to see, and it's always got to be something like something big or something, something flashy, whatever the case may be. They also do it because they want you to be, in a way, they want you to be dependent on them. Okay. They want you to basically, what is the phrase for it? It's kind of like giving a kid candy. It's kind of like giving a kid candy. They'll give you candy, like they take you, for some candy, and then it gets to the point where You kind of become expectant of it. Like they want you to be that way, because a lot of time what narcissists do is they basically they round everything up. They gather everything up. They take record. They keep record of everything. I bought you this. I bought you that. I took you here. I took you there. Ba ba ba. Boom boom boom. We went over here. I took you on an expensive trip to Italy. I took you to the Bahamas. I went and bought you a new car. I bought you a diamond ring. I got you a house. I did this. I did that. And boom boom boom. They're keeping record of everything they've done for you. Okay? Because when that time comes to collect, you better be ready to pay up. That's why they do it. And that's why they do it so publicly. Or they do it for people standing on the outside to see, because they're showing people how generous they are. And this is all a way to, again, control you. Because if you can't fulfill or provide the way they did for you, then they have a reason to feel some kind of way about you. Or they have a reason to, whine or, just act up or whatever the case may be. Also, because they can show other people, look, see, I did all this stuff for her. Especially when it comes to, I noticed that, like, if it boils down to a discard, they can, they can use that like on people, like, after everything I did for this person and blah, 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 blah. And this is how they're acting. It's all a way to play mind games. It's all a way to manipulate. It's all a way to control you, to have control, to keep you just pretty much beneath them. Don't fall for it. If you got anything from the narcissist, I strongly say give it back to them. Give it back to them. Dinosaur, it depends. It depends. Some of them can be, but it depends on the type that you're dealing with. It depends on the type that you're dealing with, because you have those that will spend a lot of money. They'll spend a lot of money. They will spend it. And again, it's about showing off. That's what it's about. It's about showing off. And if they are cheap with you, I guarantee you they're not cheap with themselves. They're not cheap with themselves. Hey, Gil. Wombat, her mom said that she couldn't start a family until she bought a house. Her mom said that she couldn't start a family with you until she bought her mom a house. Is that correct? Kara, the sister said I was changing her brother. You would think it was seen as a good thing when it came to him taking the reins of his kids, but it was seen as a problem. Yeah, because you know why, Kara? In a narc family's mind, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay? That's kind of like what I looked at in the dynamic that I had. His family, and again, it didn't make sense, guys. It didn't make sense to me. But when I look back, his sister was calling her sister-in-law. Okay? His mother was looking at her like, oh, you're like my favorite daughter-in-law, whatever the case may be. I at first thought it was because they had a child together. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, you know what? They're looking at her like family. I'm like, but these couldn't have been that bad. This is what I didn't understand. I, as a mother to a boy, do not think that I would be all chummy. I don't care if he has a child with the person or not. I do not think I would be really chummy with someone who emasculates my son. I do not think I would be chummy with someone who clowns him, who makes him, who plays him like a yo-yo. I would not be chummy with someone like that, because then that lets people know that my son ain't shit. Unless I had some kind of agenda behind it. Hi, Heather. Hi, sweetheart. Unless I had some kind of an agenda behind it. Unless I was thinking of, what I could get out of the situation. I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. As parents, how many of us would allow someone to treat our child that way? Now, like I said, given the way it was explained to me, I'm looking back at it like, wait a minute. I cannot, I know everybody's different, but I'm sorry. This chick, the way you're telling it to me, it sounds like she clowned you. It sounds like she, and again, his story, I really couldn't sit here and tell you guys that it was 110% true, because at the end of the day, I was not there, so I don't know. But what, like I said, it didn't make sense to me. You're telling me all of this, you told me all of that, and yet everybody's looking at her like she's part of the big happy family. There, something's not right there. Something is not right there. So now I'm inclined to believe, yet again, guys, either either you're a liar, or you are what we would say un pendejo. It's one or the other. Okay. And you either are not telling the truth, or you are a dummy because you continuously go back to the same nonsense. You sitting there, okay, I changed. Come back, boom, nope, didn't change. And the emasculation gets to the point, and I can tell you, because I've seen guys go through it, and it's sad, but the emasculation can get to the point where they're almost castrated. You could only take but so much from a man's manhood until you actually completely obliterate them. But for me, I look at it as, this was what he chose to do. This is what he chose to go back to. So I wouldn't be surprised if she screwed him over again. I wouldn't be surprised if his mother screwed him over. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody in his family screwed him over, because apparently everything works in a narc family. Everything is past the bucket. All right. Everything is past the bucket. So it's pretty much, I'm not responsible for anything. You're responsible. And it's like, everybody's pointing fingers. You take care of it. No, you take care of it. Well, you take care of this. No, you take care of that. And it's the kind of dynamic that you just don't want to get involved with. You just don't want to be a part of. It's like, no, I'm done. I personally, I just could not do it. I could not do it. That narcissistic rage alone was enough for me. That let me know. And as much as I loved the person, I mourned. I went through my 5 stages. I was in denial. I denied it to myself. I kept telling myself no, which was why I kept trying to figure things out, trying to reach out. I was sending, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was sending message after message. I probably sent the man in one night a good freaking almost 10-15 messages, back to back to back to back to back, sending him messages, and he was ignoring all of them. He was ignoring all of them like I didn't exist. Not only was he ignoring all of them, but then he was going online and he's talking to other people. So I'm still in denial. I'm still in denial. And he's ignoring, and he's ignoring, and he's ignoring. Yet he's online. He's talking, he was talking, I guess, females or whatever the case may be. Other people were stroking him. All right. You think you're hung like a horse? Go ahead. Enjoy it. But I went from that into anger. I was angry because after what I saw, after everything he was doing, that pushed me. That really pushed me. I tried to play it off like I was cool with it. I tried to play it off like everything was okay. And I was just like, what I saw, I just got so angry. I was beyond livid. But I did not, guys. I did not jump out of character. I didn't go beyond that. I was angry and I just kind of, I dealt with it. I got pissed off and I thought of every reason why I should hate him. And I'm like, I fucking hate him. I don't ever want to see him again. I can't stand him. He's a freaking liar. He's a manipulator. He hurt me. He knew he hurt me. And yet he's still doing this. How could he? Oh my God. And I'm just sitting there. Then you go to bargaining. You start to bargain. You start to sit there and basically kind of try to convince yourself, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I should, hear him out. Maybe I should try to try to work things out. Maybe there were some things I could have done. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe I was too clingy and I was this and I was that. You go back and forth. You go back and forth. Okay, and you're trying to bargain with things. You're trying to, reason. You're trying to reason. And in some cases, you're even bargaining with God. You're sitting there like, listen, God, okay, you know what? If you make them come back to me, or if you change them or whatever, I'll go to church every Sunday, whatever the case may be. You start to bargain. Then you go into depression. And that depression hits you hard. That depression hits you deep. I was in severe depression. If I wasn't at work, I was home. If I wasn't home, I was at work. I couldn't even go out. I was too ashamed to go out. My body was too tired. I couldn't do it. Like sometimes I couldn't even get up for work. I couldn't get up for work. I wouldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I was, just all over the place. It was just horrible, but you go from, mind you, this is going on over time. You go from all of those stages and I reached my level of acceptance. I had come to acceptance because once I knew that I was far away emotionally and mentally from the problem. And I went back and I looked back at everything and I saw everything for what it was. And I had said, okay, this is who this person really is. This is who this person is. I had realized, and I came into my level of acceptance when I realized I was never going to get the apology. Never going to get an apology. And I knew I wasn't going to get an apology because in light of the fact that I was doing all of this work, I'm doing all of this, advocating and these videos and doing all of this content, I had learned that I was never going to get an apology because of the rejection. Because, in the end, it wasn't even about being sincere. It was about, I'm not going to apologize to Erica because what's the point? What's the point? Why should I apologize to her and she's going to reject me anyway? That's when I came to my level of acceptance. I was like, all right, I'm going to get my apology. It don't matter, And a lot of you, probably won't get your apology. You probably won't get a sincere apology. And if you do get an apology, be very careful. Be extremely careful. All right. Because their apologies are anything but. Be very careful. They usually come with an agenda. So, just keep that in mind if they reach out to you, whether it be months after the discard or even years. If they reach out to you, they give you an apology, you want to accept it, that's perfectly fine. I accept your apology, but that's as far as it should go because you progress so much, you don't want to be dragged back into that. You really don't. And I don't know about you guys, but when it boils down to me, the man that I fell in love with is dead to me. He's dead to me. And that's when I realized I went through those stages of grief because he died. He died to me. He died in my eyes. And I had walked around for a couple of years, because being single, guys try to get my attention. Guys try to talk to me. They wanted to ask me out. They would ask me my status, and I said, I'm a widow. And I was a widow for a couple of years. Like, I'm sitting there saying, I'm a widow. Like, I'm literally a widow. And like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. How are you handling it? And I'm like anybody else, I guess. I went through my 5 stages of grief. I went through my pain. I cried my eyes out. I went through my depression. I went through everything. And when I got to the level of acceptance, that was like putting the tombstone on it. It's done. What more can I do? What more can I do about it? There's nothing I can do about it. This person clearly, because you know what, guys, don't fall for that. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to, if I hurt you or if I made you feel like, like whatever, I never meant, yeah, they did. They did. They did. Because like I said, even if you didn't tell them flat out they were hurting you, your actions were showing them. Your pain, your tears, Everything was showing them what they were doing. And they not once batted an eyelash. They not once sat there and stopped and said, I'm sorry. Nothing. What did they do? They cursed you out. They yelled at you. They made you, they humiliated you. They made you feel like you were being a pain in the ass. They made you feel like you were being annoying. They made you feel all of these things. Because if they were truly apologetic, if they were truly sorry, they would have done things. This is why these people are they're just so damn, they're messed up. Because any other person would be like, you know what? I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm not going to be with anybody. I'm not going to throw anything in your face. I'm not going to do these things in your face. Because any sane person, if they're going to do something, even if they're going to bullshit you and tell you, I'm sorry, whatever, it's over, blah, 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 whatever the case may be, they're going to at least have some consideration for you in giving you your space and your time to heal, not just sit there in front of you with the person or the people that they're getting their supply from and maliciously hurt you. They're not going to do that. And that's when I figured these types of people are real fucking psychopaths. They're psychotic, man. You have to be really psychotic to do something, or sociopathic to literally sit there, take someone's heart, crush it in your hands, and just be like, oh well. That's why I say don't spend too much time, especially for the newbies. Don't spend too much time crying, thinking too hard into it. Don't spend too much time doing that. I know it's hard, but trust me, because you could die tomorrow and they'll still bring the new supply to your funeral. Okay. It's all while, crying the tears like, oh, he was a lovely, she was a lovely person and she was a good person. It's too bad it didn't work out between us. Meantime, they're standing right at your casket with the same person that they shitted on you for. Don't waste your time. Trust me. And a lot of people, hi, Jax, how are you, sweetie? A lot of people who have gone through the motions, a lot of the survivors here, they can tell you it'll be a waste. You don't want to waste any more days, any more tears. It's just coming to a level of acceptance, accepting that these are the kind of people they are. These are the kind of people they were before they met you. These are going to be the kind of people they are after. And the next person, the next victim they come across, they're going to, unfortunately, they're going to learn it the hard way also. They're going to learn it the hard way also, until the narcissist decides that, which not going to happen. I wish I could say they would change, but it's not going to happen. They're not going to change. They're not going to change. They can come to you and tell you, I'm going to therapy. They can come to you and tell you, I went to see a therapist. So you went to see a therapist in 3 sessions and you're cured? You're healed? You got about 20 years of narcissism on you, buddy. And you think 3 sessions is going to fix that? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yes, it is, Kara. Yes, it is. Yes, my ex-narc, this is from Wombat. My ex-narc's mother said she couldn't start a family with me until she got her a house. We argued after that. That's ridiculous, Wombat. That is so ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I can't. That's until she got her a house. Man, listen, bro. I couldn't. I could not. I couldn't deal with somebody like that. Dear Jen, do you think narc abuse causes a child of a narc to become avoidant because of the abuse? Yes. Yes, I do. You gotta it's kind of like when I did the daughters of a narcissist mother, it's like, for example, the daughter, She will either, because a narcissist mother will always be undermining her children. She's always going to be undermining. She's going to be secretly competing with them. She's going to be probably be jealous of her own child. When a narcissist mother is raising, for example, in this video, is raising a daughter, she's going to raise her to either be codependent or be avoidant. So she's either going to be codependent, where she's going to be clinging on to relationships, trying to get, obtain that connection that she was yearning for with her mother, her father, whichever. But she's going to be clinging on to relationships, unhealthily toxic relationships, even, especially with a narcissist mother, because narc mothers are very toxic. She's going to be holding on to those relationships out of fear of abandonment, out of fear of disconnection, out of just pretty much it's fear-based. Or, because it depends on how the child internalizes it. Every child is going to do what they do on their own. Or she's going to be avoidant, where she's going to pretty much avoid any kind of attachment with men. She's not going to take them seriously. She's going to pretty much use them, or just be the non-committal type. She'll just be the type that doesn't want to be tied down, doesn't want to have anything to do with any kind of emotions or connections, because she's incapable of sustaining that. She's incapable of showing love. She's incapable of loving. Is that reversible? I mean, listen, anything's possible. You have people who weren't taught how to love or how to be loved, and they ended up meeting other people, and boom, like they're happily ever after. They're in love with these people and they're living their lives. Is it changeable? I'm a strong believer that it is. But it takes patience, because you're dealing with someone who's avoidant. That takes a lot of patience. That takes a whole lot of patience. And some of you guys, I know, like we talk a lot about narcissists, but even when it boils down to dealing with avoidant people who are dismissive avoidant, people who are just avoidant of relationships, because you can have someone who's not a narcissist and still be avoidant. You can have someone who's not a narc and still be non-committal. There's a big difference, but people who are non-committal, people who are avoidant, are usually that way because one of their parents fudged up, or maybe both. But it all stems back to their childhood. It stems back to when they were infants, toddlers, you name it. That's where it stemmed back from. So parents, you often have parents who screw up in the beginning, maybe possibly try, that's a big possibly, try to make up for whatever mistakes they made, but sometimes it's a little too late, and their little non-committal, avoidant, and sometimes asshole-ish child is out there in the world, dealing with people, and they're not dealing with them the way they should be. They're not handling people with care. They're handling people basically the way they attach, and they're handling people the way they attach to their parents, which is not really an attachment. It's just pretty much avoidant. I'm the parent, I'm here, you're the child, you're here, so what do you expect me to do? What do you want from me? That's the kind of connection a parent has with their child. Onitha, while on a vacay, my ex-fiance was on his phone 85% from dusk until dawn. Before the plane hit the ground, I begged him to limit calls from the problematic female that will call him day and night. This didn't happen. She persisted to call. And whenever I was in the background asking him to spend time and talk with me, the girl never apologized for, in a way, interrupting our vacay. When I decided to leave after him having another girl that was his BFF take him out to eat while I sat at home in his mentor mom's house, I went to stay with a relative, and he said I think you okay. I think you're finishing that. You're welcome, dear Jen. You're welcome. Hon. Okay. First and foremost, on a vacation, ex fiance was on his phone 85% of the time, from dusk till dawn. First and foremost, I could not be in a relationship with someone who is practically married to their phone. Okay, that is, I get it if the person was a workaholic and they like own, they're the CEO of their own company. They own the company and they got to get, I mean, it's, a lot of different phone calls or whatever, but that's what you hire assistants for. So that's bullshit. But this thing about 85% on the phone while being on vacation with you, no. Then problematic female. Problematic. How is she someone he dealt with? Is she someone that is she someone that is an ex, or is it a friend, or what's the relationship there? um this didn't happen. She persisted to call, and whenever I was in the background asking him to spend time and talk with me, the girl never apologized. Oh, you know what, guys, I'm gonna tell you something, Onitha. I'm gonna tell you, because you seem like a really nice girl. I'd have been shoved that phone down his throat. Okay, I'd have been shoved it down his throat, and if I couldn't get it down his throat, I would have shoved it up his ass. Would have been one way or the other. But one way or the other, she would have been talking to his freaking intestines, because there's no way I'm gonna be on vacation with my man and some female's gonna be calling and constantly, and then I gotta sit there and be like, "Oh, spend time with me. You're here with me. What are you doing?" No, because if that were the case, honestly, we're gonna be 100% honest with it. You want to be on your phone? Cool. I'm going downstairs to the bar and I'm charging everything to the room since you're paying for it. Thank you very much. Mess around and I might actually find somebody else on this damn. If you guys were on an island, I don't know, a resort, whatever. We ain't playing that. We're not playing that. I don't think so. I don't think so. She's an ex. Yeah. Yeah. Nah. No. No. Nope. Yeah. I listen. I'm one for standing up for what's mine. I always stood up for what was mine. I always stood up and I never backed down. But at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, if I'm on vacation, I'm with my man, and his ex is, why am I answering? Why are you answering the phone? Why are you answering the phone? Is the house on fire? Okay. The only exception I have is that they have a kid together. They have a child together. Okay. And that girl was a teenager. There's no reason for you to be on the phone. And especially if we on vacation. No. And the only reason she's doing that is because he's allowing it. He's entertaining that. That's why it's continuing to happen. See, we're not going to sit here and just blame the other person. We're not going to sit here and blame the other person for everything. The reason she's doing it is because he's allowing it. He's entertaining it. Because if he wasn't, trust me, she probably, if he was just like sending her to voicemail, do not disturb or whatever. I'm on vacation with my girlfriend. Don't call me. Don't do any. If they don't have kids together, no, 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 no. Nope. Jax, I would give my phone to my girlfriend and act like I want to show her something and go through all the stuff so she can see. She can trust me. Yeah. If he's not entertaining her, if he's not entertaining the BS, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, that's yeah. Yeah, I would strongly say, one, you don't want to deal with someone who's entertaining someone else who clearly has issues, and clearly, you know what, maybe it's just best to like let them do their own thing, you know let it go, let them do their own thing. Okay, ladies, y'all are too beautiful to be putting yourselves through any of this. Okay, y'all are too beautiful to be putting yourselves through any of this. Y'all are too sweet. Especially if you have a good heart. I know people who have good hearts. I know people that are really sweet. And y'all are a little too awesome. All of y'all are a little too awesome to be putting yourselves through this with these people who are clearly incapable of sustaining emotions and love and trust and feelings and empathy and all. No, 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 no. Leave the snakes in the grass. Leave the snakes in the grass, okay? You see how that fly was flying around? I know it was still alive. I know it was still alive, but it's saw how pissed off I was getting. That's why it just went away. So y'all need to just, not. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, when you get to that point that I'm trying to get you guys to, you'll understand what I mean. You're like, oh, that's what I recommend. Okay, I got you. Trust me. It's but she's posted stuff on her Facebook stating, if I want to be with you and you don't want to be with me, we are still together, and may he never find happiness if it's not with me. Why don't you? I'm trying so hard to be calm in these lives, guys. I really am. No, it's okay, Onita. I'm glad you're able to rant. I'm glad you're able to. If you want, you can email me some more. Matter of fact, yeah, email me. Email me. Okay? Because I don't like females like that. Females like that are very vindictive and petty. And that sounds like if I can't have him, nobody can. And I'm gonna make everybody miserable until he sees that that's it. Nobody wants to deal with him because of the drama, and he has no choice but to come back to me. And females like that are very there's a word for it. Okay? I'm not going to say it. Oh no, petty's not the word for me, Onita. Trust me. Amanda could tell you. It's not the word for me. But I'm trying to refrain from using very bad language. Okay? I'm a Puerto Rican from Brooklyn, so that's all I can tell you. But guys, it is wow, we did 2 hours. I was kind of hoping we could do like maybe an hour and a half, but I get so into it with you guys every time you guys come on. Onita, definitely shoot me an email. I'm gonna put the email in the description box below. Okay. So guys, I am going to be calling it a night because little man has to get ready for bed. He's got school tomorrow, and I have work. But I love being here with you guys. I enjoy talking with you all. He can go take a shower. I love being with you guys. Love talking to you all. I love having these meetings with you guys as always, because it's always a great experience. It's a great time with you all. Kara, they love to cheat. Yeah, no, and you know what? It's just you just don't need that aggravation. It's just too much of an aggravation, and it's not something that's worth your time. It's just too much of a headache. And for these kinds of people, there's not enough Advil to be dealing with them. So don't bother with them, please. Please don't bother with them. All right, but guys, oh, you're very welcome, Monique. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad we could be here for you. I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that you guys are talking and helping one another. That's what it's all about. And I'm appreciative. I am so appreciative of all of you. You have no idea. I love the fact that everyone is coming out and people are just really coming forward. That's what matters. That's what matters most. My life probably would have been cutting down a little bit shorter had I not been distracted by that damn fly. And I heard that flies when the symbolic term for flies is gossip. So somebody must be gossiping about me, but then again, who isn't? I really don't care. Because what people think of me is none of my business, right? That's how we got to look at it. Yeah, no, Kara, don't. Butch, have a great night, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out the whole bug thing. I'm gonna figure that out because I don't think I'll be able to go to bed until I kill it, like really kill it. But guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for giving your input, giving your insights. Thank you for making it a great time. You guys always do that, and that's what I love about all of you. If you guys want to add anything, or whomever's watching it on the stream, if you want to add anything later on after it streams, please be sure to do so. Leave it in the comments section below. I'm going to be working on another video, a little short clip for you guys, and some other things. We're working on some other things, but I love you all. I've been sitting here for 2 hours and my butt is really tired, so I'm gonna get up. But have a great night, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Hopefully we'll have less distractions. And if you like today's session, please be sure to give it a thumbs up on your way out. If you're new and you happen to enjoy the session, like I said, if you guys enjoy being here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, and that way you're notified each time we do a video, and of course when we come live. But it's every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be working on a few things for you guys, and if you guys have any questions, all my information is going to be linked in the bio. Everything is going to be there. Amanda posted up the ways of contacting me. And what else? Anything else? Did I forget anything, guys? I don't think I did. But much love to you all. Peace, happiness, all that good stuff. I hope you all have a great week. Enjoy this summer wherever you are. If it's not too hot and humid, go to the beach. Have a great time. Enjoy it all. Enjoy it all. You deserve it. We all deserve it. And what else? I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm going to call it a night, guys. So I will see you all next week. I will be posting throughout the week, and I hope it helps whoever needs to see it. Okay. Yes, my battery is going dead. So have a great night, guys. Love you all. See you next week. Good night.